Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of sin. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. Multitudes, multitudes can't see what's coming for them. Most people can't find faith within. Most have no fear of the Lord. Most people just can't understand what Jesus came here for. He came to die upon the cross to cover our sin. That was the day the world was judged. God put it all on him. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of sin. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. Multitudes, multitudes, won't you ask Jesus in? The sun and moon grow dark that day. The stars will lose their glow. The Lord roars from Zion. His voice will split the mountain too. And faithful ones will run into the mountain valley he's made. They'll look upon Jesus whom they've pierced. They'll mourn, but they'll be saved. If they run into the mountain valley that Jesus made. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of sin. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. Multitudes, multitudes can't see what's coming for them. Most of the world can't see what's coming for them. Can't see what's coming for them. That's actually based on Joel chapter 3, Isaiah 53, and Zechariah 14. You know, the Old Testament and the New Testament are God's inspired word. And you can't have the New Testament without the Old Testament. You can't have the Old Testament without the New Testament. It all points to the cross of Jesus Christ. But there's a whole lot of other stuff in there that God has shown us to help us to see where we're at in the world, right? So the seals, again, were all of mankind history. Now we're looking at the trumpets. And the trumpets, I believe, are going to sound off very soon. And I believe the trumpets are going to sound off at the same time. You know, when you're looking at a prophecy, it's not linear, it's not chronological. And sometimes when we look at things like the trumpets, I think they're stacked on top of each other. I think they're it's like this. They're all going to happen like the same time. I think. I don't know, but that's what I see. So let's look at the trumpets. This is chapter 8 of Revelation, verse 6. So the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were thrown to the earth, and a third of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. The second angel sounded, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood. And a third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. You've seen a pattern? A third, a third, a third. Then the third angel sounded, and a great star fell from heaven, burning like a torch, and it fell on a third of the rivers and on the angel and the springs of waters. And the name of the star is wormwood, and a third of the waters became wormwood, and many died. Many people died from the water because it was made bitter, poisonous. You know, wormwood, the word wormwood in Russian, it means Chernobyl. Did you know that? Isn't that interesting? Chernobyl means wormwood in Russian. And you know, you think about it, it's these things are pouring out on a third, right? A third, a third, a third. And how can this this star fall from the sky called wormwood, and how does this fall on a third of the rivers and make a third of the rivers? It's interesting. And okay, so verse 12 now. Then the fourth angel sounded, and a third of the sun was struck, a third of the sun, a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of them were darkened, and a third of the day did not shine, and likewise the night. And I looked, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the remaining blasts of the trumpet of the 3 angels who are about to sound." A third, a third, a third, a third. That's why I think it's all going to happen at the same time. All these things. And we're looking at something happening. These are things that are happening in the spiritual world, right? These are not happening like literal things that are happening, right? We're seeing something happen in the spiritual world that is going to affect our world. And I don't think they've happened yet. I don't think the trumpets have blown yet, personally. I mean, I think they're beginning to, but I don't think they've really blown yet. Let's move on to chapter 9, the 5th trumpet. Then the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth, and to him, a star that was fallen was an entity, an angel. Star is also translated angel. Did you know that? Was given to the key, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke rose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. Then out of the smoke locusts came upon the earth, and to them was given power, as scorpions of the earth have power. And they were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth, or any green thing, or any tree, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. We looked at the 7th seal, or the 6th seal, and we saw that that's when they were sealed. The Jews, the 12,000 of each tribe of the Jews were sealed, right? And I think we're looking at the same thing, that these people, these Jews that are going to be sealed, that they are going to go through all this that's coming, but we are not, because we're going to rise in the rapture before all that, I believe. And the shape of the locust was like horses prepared for battle, and on their heads were crowns of something like gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. They had hair like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth, and they had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots with many horses running into battle. They had tails like scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had as king over them the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek it is Apollyon. That means destroyer, destruction, destroyer. One woe is past. Behold, still 2 more woes are coming after these things. That's the first woe. And it's, to me, it's like, okay, these monsters, whatever they are, they were given power to hurt, but not to kill, right? Stings like scorpions. People try to make these things seem like they're things that are like they're talking about, the military that in our world, right? I don't think so. There's nothing that makes me think that these are anything but spiritual things that are happening in the spiritual realm that are going to affect our planet. We have a spiritual world around us that we can't see, and it affects our world. We can't see it, but they see us, right? That's because their world is more solid than ours. Jesus is coming back for his children soon. And then these things are going to happen. So keep looking up, because our redemption draws near. We're not going to suffer these things as long as we have Jesus in our hearts. So don't let go. God bless you.